Hey everybody, I'm Dan McClellan. I'm a scholar of the Bible and religion, and I want to show you how Fox News is intentionally deceiving its audience in order to make them angry about university textbooks. This was an article that was posted today on Fox News. Christian student exposes pricey college textbook, calling her a white supremacist. And then the caption down underneath the screen grab says, student outraged after being forced to buy textbook, calling Christians white supremacists. Both of these claims are demonstrable falsehoods, and both the individual being featured in this story and Fox News know that these are falsehoods. Now, this goes back about a month ago when an individual posted a video on social media talking about something that they found in a textbook that made them angry. Here is the beginning of that video.
I might be getting canceled for this, but I'm kind of pissed off. Anyway, I'm a senior in college and I'm in international public relations, and I was told to read chapter 8 this week of International Public Relations, Negotiating Culture, Identity, and Power. I'm reading, I just opened it up to chapter 8 about 5 minutes ago. I've been sitting here in awe. Chapter 8 is titled Contested Identities, Shifting Publics in a Globalized World. I'm going to read you what I just read and where I stopped. I think it's the second sentence, maybe the third. Identity may be one of the most contentious words of the new millennium. An internet search produces the following modifiers for identity: corporate, sexual, digital, public, racial, national, brand, and even Christian. A US-based white supremacist group. I'm pissed. So I would just like to say that as a Christian, if you're reading this and you're not a Christian and you're in college, I am not a white supremacist. So can we cancel these authors? Or are we going to cancel me?
So here is the page that content creator was reading from. In the red box, this is what they read. Identity may be one of the most contentious words of the new millennium. An internet search produces the following modifiers for identity. If you're not aware of what it means for something to be a modifier, it means that you can put the two words together and one modifies or clarifies the other. So when it says corporate, that means the phrase is corporate identity. Sexual, sexual identity. Digital, digital identity. Public identity, racial identity, national identity, brand identity, and even Christian, a US-based white supremacist group. What happens if you look up Christian identity as a phrase on the internet? This is what happens. You get a bunch of hits about the explicitly white supremacist Christian movement known as Christian identity or identity Christianity. This is the name of a very specific movement that is explicitly white supremacist. And you can check out Wikipedia for a discussion of this group and its origins and its ideologies. Now, you would think that someone in college reading a textbook, learning things, would understand that if there's something in a textbook they don't understand, maybe they should try to understand it. Maybe they should go look it up, figure out what's going on. If you don't understand what a modifier is, if you don't understand why someone would be referring to all Christianity as a US-based white supremacist group, maybe the problem is that you don't have enough information and you need to think critically and Google competently and go look it up. This person did not. This person immediately sent emails to their professor and to their dean. And both of them immediately pointed out Christian identity is the name of a white supremacist movement in the US. And then this person posted the very next day this follow-up video.
I'm back about the book. First, I'm going to show the page so everybody calling me dumb for not getting the context can see what I'm talking about. All of these words were written in regards to identity, but the last word written in regards to identity was Christian. And in the parentheses, it says what I said. Therefore, the reason I posted this is because I had no idea about the Christian identity movement, and neither did the book mention that. So without the book mentioning that, I am sitting here thinking that these authors are calling Christians a US-based white supremacist group. That's my fight for why I made the video. Okay, so I reached out to the dean yesterday, and he replied this morning and told me to reach out to my professor. I ended up reaching out to my professor, and she enlightened me about the Christian identity movement, which I had no clue about because the book doesn't go there. It just says Christian parentheses. Yeah, I understand freedom of speech is a thing, and anybody can call me a white supremacist for being a Christian, but at the end of the day, this is defamation of character, and it was published in a book. So that's why I'm mad. That's why I posted it. Yada yada. Anyway, my professor was very nice. She emailed the whole class explaining the Christian identity movement, but at the end of the day, I still think the book shouldn't be on the shelf. And my dean emailed me saying, is there anything else, or am I unhappy with the end of the conversation? And I feel like I should say, I don't think this book should be read. I don't care if it's one sentence. Yeah. So I have to say what I have to say. Or maybe the book shouldn't be taken off the shelf. Maybe there should be a paragraph explaining what the Christian identity movement is and how it's wrong and how it's not related to Christians and how them writing that in that book makes us look stupid and indoctrinates people. I don't know, maybe I'm crazy. I'm gonna back off now. I'm scared I'm gonna get expelled.
So in absolutely no sense whatsoever is this defamation of character. This is just a misunderstanding on the part of someone who does not know what it means for these words to be modifiers for identity. This is not referring to all Christians. It's not even plural. It is singular, and anyone who is a senior in college ought to be able to understand that what this means is that the phrase Christian identity is found online. As we have seen, it is. But the reason that they're not backing down is because that video has almost 1 million views. They got a lot of attention from that video. A lot of people expressed a lot of outrage and support for this content creator's outrage. That's a lot of clout to leave on the table, and it's going to be embarrassing to get up there and say, I was wrong, I just didn't understand what was going on, and I got upset because I didn't know what was going on. And so you feel the need to lean into your anger. And now, a month later, they've gone on Fox News. Let's watch the video from Fox News where they explain themselves.
So about a month ago, I came across a sentence in my textbook, and it read identities, describing identities. And one identity that it pointed out was Christianity. And in parentheses, the book reiterated that Christianity is a US-based white supremacist group.
So this is a month later, and this content creator who knows exactly what the textbook was referring to because they had it explained to them by their professor and the dean, and then the college sent out a notice to the students. They're coming on Fox News to flagrantly lie about it. And they say the textbook referred to Christianity as an identity and then described Christianity as a US-based white supremacist group. This is a flagrant lie, and this person knows this is a lie.
Which I was mind blown because the textbook did not describe any other identities besides Christianity. I had opened my textbook to read chapter 8, which was titled Contested Identities, Shifting Publics in a Globalized World. The way it was worded, it listed several marginalized groups, but then only called Christians to be white supremacists.
So let's share that page again. It did not list marginalized groups. It lists words that were modifiers of the word identity, and they include corporate identity, sexual identity, digital identity, public identity, racial identity, national identity, brand identity, and Christian identity. And then the next sentence says the same search finds identity used as a modifier itself for theft, management, and theory. So this individual is misrepresenting what the book is talking about by hallucinating the notion that it's referring to marginalized identities and picking out Christianity as the white supremacist one.
But the scariest thing is that the book was written in 2007. Therefore, this has been shared for almost 20 years and it was never questioned.
Because most people who are reading this book understand what it means for a word to be modifying identity and for the word identity to be modifying other words. And if they don't know what's going on with the reference to the word Christian, they can look it up, because you're supposed to be learning to think critically in college. You're supposed to be learning to use the resources around you to figure out what's going on in the world around you.
I think American academia needs a definite reevaluation, especially in our textbooks, as we can see from my prime example. The books hide underlying propaganda, in my opinion. It seems as if they are innocent, but in reality, they know what they're doing and trying to push on their students.
So now this individual is trying to rationalize their continued endorsement of this notion that this textbook is calling Christianity white supremacist by suggesting that they're pretending to be innocent, but there are really these ulterior motives under the surface. And that is just absolutely asinine. This person is just enjoying the attention and trying to come up with ways to validate their initial intuitive disgust at misunderstanding what this textbook was saying. Now, I saw these videos when they first came out and had saved them because I was going to make a video, but I decided, you know what? They figured out what was going on. I don't need to bring this back up. And I wasn't going to say anything about it until I saw this Fox News article today where this individual decided to double down and lie even more flagrantly about what was in that textbook, probably because Fox News came a-callin', and they realized this was an opportunity to get Christians around the country outraged at universities and at university textbooks so they can continue to mitigate the ability of Americans to get educated, to learn to think critically, so that they can open their eyes to the malignant and corrosive effect of the right-wing authoritarianism and the Christian nationalism that is tearing our republic apart. These people need to do so much better. Learn to think critically. Learn to Google competently. Grow the hell up. And the fit for this video is Super Mario Brothers.